Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and today we're going to have a look at the computer models for the next couple of weeks, along with the potential for some snowfall this weekend. And I'm currently looking at the radar image for the UK, and we do have an area of snow moving from west to east. Now, it's not quite snow-conductive air at the moment, snow-conductive air, sorry, but there is some back-edge snow where, with the heavier precipitation and some slightly colder air digging in behind this little feature. Now, where I am in London, we saw a bit of this feature move through as it's sort of rotating a little bit, sort of a localised sort of area of low pressure. We saw a bit of hail, but again, many people on Twitter are talking about widespread snowfall with this or whatever, or lamppost watching, but the chance of you seeing snow from this is quite slim. It's really this back edge bit, and most significant snow really seems Birmingham. Birmingham saw a little covering maybe earlier of quite wet snow, where they saw this for a period of time. But again, most areas will be seeing rain with this. Tomorrow and Sunday is with the chance where we could see some more widespread snowfall, and it's more higher chance you will see snowfall when the precipitation falling out of the sky. Elsewhere, there's a lot of showers around. Some of them are falling as snow, mostly over higher ground, but again, to lower areas, we're still seeing a bit of snow. With evaporative cooling, etc. But tomorrow it's definitely going to be more snow-conductive air, and Sunday as well. So anything falling out of the sky Saturday and Sunday does look like it's got a decent chance it will be wintry. Now we'll have a look at the Met Office warning. So currently you've got a widespread snow and ice warning. They generally do put these out when temperatures are cold, freezing overnight, and there are showers around. So this is generally just a general warning. Not everywhere here is going to see dangerous ice or snowfall, but it's just a warning really to say that these areas are susceptible. Tomorrow, again, we've got a similar snow and ice warning. However, there's likely going to be a bit more shower activity, especially more towards the northwest, moving southeast, and coastal areas as well. There's a chance tomorrow there's a lot of showers packing into the northwest that starts to move further southeast, and we see a rash of showers heading across from northwest southeast tomorrow afternoon, and we'll look at that in the models in a minute. Lastly, the Sunday warning is an interesting one, because at the moment we've got a little area of low pressure with an occluded front, and it's moving across southern England. Its exact track is unknown at the moment, but where its exact track does pass could see some significant snowfall, between 5 to 10 centimetres. Now, it will be localised, where we'll see potentially the heaviest snowfall, and exactly how pepped up the precipitation is unknown at the moment, but it does look like there will be a period of snow moving from west to east, with the most likely scenario at the moment definitely southern Wales, potentially into southwest, where it could be falling a bit as rain, especially further southwest. But as it moves further east, decent chance part of the Midlands, central, southern England, southeast England, even maybe into East Anglia, we could be seeing some widespread snowfall. Again, if we do see the snowfall, it's most likely going to be maybe 1 to 3 centimetres. But again, locally, you could see 4 or 5 centimetres if you get a heavier band and it peps up a bit, and maybe between 5 and 10 centimetres if you're over high ground, and where this sort of occluded front pivots, where it could be anywhere really along the M4 sort of line towards London, maybe a bit further south, where it does pivot. Could see an extra couple of hours of snow compared to everywhere else, and that could tot up the totals. We'll first have a look at the GFS midday run. The 6 o'clock run is updating at the moment, but it's only out to about a week or 10 days at the moment. But we'll look at the midday run, because it did actually go quite cold. So we'll have a look at that. As you can see, we can see that little area of low pressure moving through on Sunday, potentially providing some widespread snowfall. Beyond that, it stays cold until about Tuesday. We start to bring in southwesterly winds, and then it goes milder as the Atlantic sort of ramps up. But as you can see, it never really properly gets going. There's still a lot of blocking around, but it's not really doing anything to provide cold conditions for us in the UK. We do maintain sort of a westerly flow, but it's towards next weekend where there's a chance we start to see colder conditions. Lower pressure is centred over Scandinavia, and it starts to try and dig in some colder air. And it's looking like on the models that we are starting to see potentially pockets of high pressure going to start to appear towards Iceland, Scandinavia, potentially Greenland. And on this current GFS one, the high pressure goes to the north of Scandinavia. And although we are relatively mild at this point, we start to pull in some colder air from the east as the high pressure gets going towards Iceland, and by the end of the run, we're pulling in a pretty cold easterly wind. Now, you wouldn't call it a beast from the east, as we want that minus 20 line, potentially minus 15 to minus 20 line getting close to the country. But again, the minus 10 to the southeast, not particularly packed isobars, so again, the snow potential will be limited, but it'll still be cold, and it's the right synoptics, and I would suspect this high pressure is retrogressing further north. You see this plunge of bitterly cold air into Scandinavia, and that may start to swing eastwards towards the UK. But again, it's just something to watch. These are turning up in the models of a colder start to February. If we now have a look at the GM model, you can see very similar. Breaks down the colder weather around Monday, Tuesday for southwesterly winds. And as we move through, you see pockets of high pressure towards Iceland by the end of the month. It doesn't come off too much in this run, but you could see that potentially if we ran this on another couple of days, we would start to bring the wind in potentially from the east. And there's fairly cold air to our east. The coldest air would still have to be dragged from Svalbard and Siberia. But again, it's looking potentially good for an easterly wind. But again, it's not confirmed. It's just looking like hints that we've got a decent chance that we could be pulling in easterly wind, or at least high pressure will start to get going again to our north. If we now have a look at the ECMWF, again, very similar pattern up to 4 or 5 days out. And then by next weekend, we actually get a cold northerly wind with high pressure to our north. And by the end of the run, we've got quite a lot of high pressure to our north, and then low pressure sort of moving east to west. And we sort of a battleground situation here. Although it's not a typical bitterly cold pattern, with a -5 line through the country, air of low pressure sort of sliding now, northwest, southeast. The weather front would be where that sort of -5 line would be dividing. We could see some significant snowfall with that. Again, all the models are varying with what they're showing towards day 10 and beyond, but they're all hinting that higher pressure will be building to our north, and it will start to trend us potentially colder, and that's reflected in the ensembles that we'll have a look at right now. They all show we are going to go colder than average, potentially very cold in some of the ensembles, including the operational run. It's not a complete outlier, but again, it's on the colder end of the spectrum. There's a lot of ensemble members going down to -7, -8 to -10, which is very cold conditions, probably freezer-like conditions where in some areas we wouldn't be getting above freezing in the day. And it would be widespread conditions for snow. So it's looking likely that we're turning colder. Just how cold and whether it's going to be a snowy or just high pressure dominated is still up for debate. But again, it's a good trend to see, and this could be potentially another impact of the sudden stratospheric warming. Just again, coming through the atmosphere as we're very weak zonal winds at 10 HP at the moment, which could allow colder patterns like this with blocking to our north to sustain for the foreseeable future. Now, if we have a look at the precipitation chart for the next couple of days, we'll have a look at the 6 o'clock runners. We're only really going to go out to about Sunday, Monday. As you can see at the moment, we've got that area of snow and rain towards our northeast. It's actually underplayed on this GFS run, interestingly. So again, I wouldn't suspect the GFS is underplaying it. But if the GFS is underplaying it, then showing some widespread snow showers tomorrow afternoon. Heading northwest, southeast, a lot of England is being covered in snow showers potentially. And where those do line up, could see maybe a centimetre or two, or a covering at least. So again, interesting for tomorrow afternoon. But again, it will be very hit and miss, and it will be a very nowcast situation. And then as we head into Sunday, you see significant snowfall heading through central southern England, and where we see it pivot is actually towards the London, East Anglia area. Could see more sustained snowfall into early hours of Monday, potentially for some more significant snowfall. So as we look at the snow, might be heading through midday through central areas, maybe early mid-morning for sort of Wales and southwest England, and then getting to the London area by mid to early afternoon. So that's just the GFS run, and considering it's underplaying the precipitation tonight, I can't believe that it's underplaying the precipitation on Sunday, because if it is, then we could be seeing a lot of snow. But I suspect that it's really just underdoing the convection tonight, whereas on Sunday it's more of a frontal system, so it's a bit more accurate. If we now have a look at the GM model, you can see the GM model. This is the midday run, so it shows you again the snow for East Anglia. Again, underplaying it a little bit, and as we head through Saturday, not really showing as many snow showers as the GFS run was showing. Again, I suspect that there will be more snow around than that. It's just really not showing a lot on the GM. But again, it's difficult to tell at the moment as they're convective showers, so they won't be forming until a few hours before they reach land, really. So it's very difficult to forecast exactly where that's going to happen. Into Sunday, it looks like the snow track's much further south with this airflow pressure, and the precipitation should really pep up. It still shows a period of snow for central and southern areas, but doesn't show too much, which is interesting. And then overnight into Monday, it shows another area of low pressure plunging from the south. Maybe another feature providing more snow. So again, not unlike the GFS, it's not showing much snow for midday to the afternoon of Sunday, but then overnight into Monday, it's showing another area of snow moving southwards. So very interesting from the GM there. Differing quite a lot from the GFS, and what I've seen so far, I suspect the GFS is a bit more accurate at the moment than the GM. If we have a look at the Icon model, you can see you can see the snow this evening, and it looks like it's modelled a bit better. And as we move into tomorrow, you see a rash of showers, especially further north and west. In the afternoon, they start to drift further southeast, but die out. Suspect potentially the Icon is maybe overplaying with dying out the showers. They won't instantly disappear like they do on here, but I suspect that they do start to drift a bit further south and east. On the Icon model, you see the snow's pepped up over the southern counties, and it pivots again around sort of Oxford, London areas that could see the most amount of snow. It doesn't get particularly far north, unfortunately, so it suspects potentially that parts of the Midlands and East Anglia might miss out with that. But then again, another period of snow moves through Northwest England to East Anglia, London, Southeast, through on overnight Monday into Monday morning, which is interesting to see. So similar to the GM. So there's a lot of uncertainty with the models at the moment. If we have a look at the Arpège model, which is again a short-range model or shorter range model than the Icon, and a much shorter range model than the GFS and the GM, which are mid-range models. So it should be more accurate. However, I suspect with the very difficult forecasting, it's probably not going to show too much more certainty than the other models. Again, showing that shower risk potentially a bit more organised into tomorrow afternoon, and looking predominantly snow as well. Suspect if that comes more towards sunset, it's more likely to be snow. But again, it's going to be very interesting conditions with that. As we move through into Saturday night into Sunday, you see that area of snow starts to move up from the south, hits the cold air, and very similar to the Icon, it pivots around sort of Oxford, London area. Again, it does show the precipitation fizzling out, but again, it does show a period of snow for a time through central southern England, potentially getting into the southeast as well, for another bit of snow moves through southwestern areas into central areas, potentially getting down to the southeast towards the end of the run. So again, very interesting patterns coming up at the moment on all of these model runs. So anyway, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed. Stay up to date with my videos, and I'm going to be publishing another video tomorrow looking at snow potential for Sunday, because it's looking very uncertain at the moment. It does look like there's going to be a period of snow around, but how intense it's going to be and how widespread and its exact track is very uncertain at the moment. Does look definitely snow conductive air, so it's going to be cold enough for snow to fall. But the exact track of the precipitation is not exact at the moment. So anyway, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, subscribe new, and I'll see you again for another video tomorrow.